You know that feeling when you wake up in the morning and you know you should do something productive? Like go for a run, study English, or finish that project that's been sitting on your desk for weeks, but your brain whispers, let's do it later. That's motivation, slowly dying in the corner. Motivation is fun when it's there. It feels like a burst of energy, a wave pushing you forward. But the problem is, it never stays. It's like a guest that shows up when life is easy and disappears the moment things get hard. Discipline, on the other hand, doesn't care about your mood. It's not about feeling inspired. It's about doing what you said you'd do, even when you don't feel like it. Discipline is quiet, boring, and completely unsexy. But it's also the reason people actually reach their goals. Today, we're going to talk about why discipline beats motivation every single time. Not just for success, but especially for learning English, improving yourself, and creating the kind of life that doesn't depend on fleeting emotions. Because here's the truth. Motivation gets you started. Discipline keeps you going. Motivation feels amazing for about 5 minutes. You know that sudden spark when you watch a video about waking up at 5 a.m.? Or when someone says, you can do anything if you believe in yourself. Yeah, that spark dies faster than a New Year's resolution in February. Motivation depends on emotion, and emotions are unstable. They rise and fall based on weather, mood, sleep, food, basically everything. You can't build a serious goal on something that fragile. Let's take English learning as an example. When you're motivated, you're unstoppable. You download apps, write down new phrases, talk to yourself in English. For a few days, you feel powerful. But then, one night, you come home tired. You tell yourself, I'll study tomorrow. Then the next day, you forget. Then suddenly, a week passes and your motivation? Gone. The truth is, people who rely only on motivation will always start strong and finish weak. Because they're waiting to feel ready. But the secret is, nobody ever feels ready. The people who succeed are the ones who do it anyway. That's where discipline steps in. It doesn't ask, do you feel like it? It just says, it's time, let's go. Discipline is like a muscle. The more you train it, the stronger it gets. And when it's strong enough, you don't need to wait for motivation anymore. You act automatically. You become consistent. Here's something nobody tells you. Discipline isn't about being perfect. It's about showing up even when you don't want to. Imagine this. You decide to study English for just 15 minutes every morning. Nothing big, nothing fancy. You wake up, make your coffee, sit down with your notebook. Some days you feel focused. Other days you feel like your brain is still asleep. But you do it anyway. That's discipline. At first, it feels pointless. You think, 15 minutes, that's nothing. But it's not about the time. It's about the consistency. After a week, it becomes a small part of your day. After a month, your brain starts to expect it. After 6 months, your whole identity shifts. You start to see yourself as someone who learns every day. And that tiny shift changes everything. Because when you stop depending on motivation, you stop negotiating with yourself. You don't ask, "Do I feel like studying today?" You simply do it, just like brushing your teeth. Small actions build habits. Habits build identity. And identity builds the life you want. It's not dramatic. It's not Instagram-worthy. But it works. And the best part? The results compound. A little progress every day becomes something massive over time. That's the quiet magic of discipline. It turns ordinary people into unstoppable ones. Let me tell you a story. A few years ago, my friend Daniel wanted to improve his English for work. He had big dreams. He wanted to apply for jobs overseas, talk confidently in meetings, and stop feeling nervous every time someone said, "Let's switch to English." So he started strong. He downloaded apps, bought a grammar book, even watched YouTube videos every night. The first 2 weeks were great. He felt powerful, motivated, like nothing could stop him. Then, one day, he came home tired. He skipped his study session. "Just one day," he said. But you know how that goes. One day turns into 3, then a week. Then, suddenly, his notebook was collecting dust. He told me, "I just don't feel motivated anymore." And I said, "Then stop waiting for motivation. Build a system instead." So Daniel set a rule. Study every weekday at 8 p.m. No excuses. Whether he was tired, lazy, or annoyed, didn't matter. He just had to sit down and do something in English for 30 minutes. Watch a short video, read an article, write a few sentences. Anything. At first, it was rough. He wanted to quit. But after a few weeks, something changed. He didn't have to force himself anymore. Studying became automatic, like brushing his teeth. 6 months later, his English improved so much that he started leading meetings in English at work. A year later, he got the job offer he'd been dreaming of. Not because he was the most talented, but because he was the most consistent. That's the thing about discipline. It's invisible at first. You don't see results for a while, but they're building quietly underneath. And one day, people start calling you lucky, without realizing you built that luck brick by brick. Oh, how do you actually build discipline? It's not magic. It's a skill. One that grows slowly, painfully, and beautifully. Step 1. Start small. Don't set impossible goals like, "I'll study 3 hours every day." You won't. Start with something tiny, 10 or 15 minutes. The goal isn't perfection, it's momentum. Small wins make your brain trust you again. Step 2. Keep promises to yourself. Every time you say you'll do something and actually do it, you build self-respect. It's not about how much you do, but that you follow through. When you keep your word to yourself, your confidence grows naturally. No motivational quotes required. Step 3. Make it part of your routine. Pick a time and place, and stick to it. When you attach your habit to a daily routine, like after breakfast or before bed, your brain starts linking the two. Suddenly, it's not a battle anymore. It's just part of your day. Step 4. Focus on the process, not the feeling. Some days will feel terrible. You'll be tired, bored, maybe even angry at yourself. But discipline means doing it anyway. The point isn't to feel inspired. It's to build strength. You don't go to the gym to feel comfortable. You go to grow. Step 5. Forgive yourself when you slip. You'll miss days. You'll fail sometimes. That's fine. The key is to return quickly. Discipline isn't about being perfect. It's about being persistent. You only lose when you stop coming back. In the end, discipline is freedom. It looks strict from the outside, but inside it gives you control over your time, your focus, your future. And when you start to see progress, when you realize that you're doing things you once thought were impossible, that's when you finally understand. You never needed motivation. You just needed to trust yourself enough to stay consistent. Here's the truth. Motivation is a spark, but discipline is the fire. Motivation comes and goes, but discipline stays when things get boring, when life gets hard, when nobody's watching. You don't need to feel inspired every day. You just need to do what matters, especially on the days you don't want to. Because those days count the most. That's when growth happens quietly. Discipline isn't punishment. It's a promise to your future self. Every small decision you make, studying for 10 minutes, saying no to procrastination, choosing effort over comfort, is a message that says, I'm serious about my life. And that message builds confidence. Real, lasting confidence. Not the fake kind that disappears when you fail once. So, next time you hear someone say, I just don't feel motivated, smile a little, because you know something they don't. Motivation is temporary. Discipline is permanent. And when you finally get to where you want to be, speaking fluent English, building the career you dreamed of, or just feeling proud of yourself, it won't be because you were inspired. It'll be because you showed up again and again, even when it wasn't easy. That's what separates dreamers from doers. That's the power of discipline.